States. This is where I live. Yes. And there's 50 states, and I live in this one right here. It looks like a mitten. Can everyone see that? I have a bigger one, so we don't have to get up. I'll show you if you can't see that. But that's just where I am in the country. The United States it's called a country. Just yours could be called country, but it's also a continent. Australia is special. Mars isn't just a continent. We have more in there. So that was our country, the United States. And then this is a map of Michigan. So I can show you it's a little bigger. And there's two. Michigan's pretty special too of all the states because we have two parts to our state. Whoa. I live in this lower part. This is the lower, we call it the lower peninsula because it's surrounded by water. So it's a peninsula. And then we have the upper peninsula. I live down here in the lower peninsula. And I grew up right, where is it? Right around this area. Kind of close to Detroit. And then I went to school. I grew up in Marysville, but I also lived, it was just a half hour south of where I was. That was Macomb. And then I moved to college, and I lived right here in Mount Pleasant. Taylor also lived over there, or Miss LaRoe. That's a map, and then I brought you guys in something so that we can remember it. And then I can explain a little more about what I do, what it's like to live in Michigan. So you're all going to get a picture. I took lots of pictures before I came out so you could see little parts of Michigan. And so I'll let you all just kind of pick one, and then I'll give you a little explanation about it. So you can pick the first one. That one. Ooh, it's one of my favorites. So I'll show you. This is my dog, Jack. He's a chocolate lab. He will be 2 in April, so almost coming up here. He's a big, big dog. He's almost 100 pounds.
Wow.
Huge. So you can have that one.
I bought a chocolate Labrador too.
Oh, and this. Do you guys celebrate Halloween?
Yes.
I didn't know. Somebody told me that you guys didn't, so I thought maybe I'll take a picture. Do you carve pumpkins?
No.
You don't do that here, so okay. I'll tell you a little bit about Halloween for us. We dress up. Do you guys wear the costumes?
Yes.
So you do that. We dress up and then we carve pumpkins. Sometimes we do there's haunted houses and there's cider mills. Cider mill, you can go eat the best donuts and drink warm cider. And that's where you can buy your pumpkin too. And then we carve faces in them. Some are scary, some are funny. And we put them outside our houses, and you can put lights inside of them. And then Halloween night, you can use them to help us. I'd love to hear all of your stories too. But if we're gonna get through this, so everyone can get a picture, I'll pick 3 friends at the end if you have another question. So keep your questions in your head. At the end, I'll come back. This one, I picked this one. This is my grandparents' yard, actually. But they have one of the birds out there we have are called geese. So these are geese. You look a goose, but multiple are called geese. And there's 5 of them, 4 of them just chilling in his yard. And that's it. You can see a little bit of their pond. But I know there's some animals that we have in America that you don't have here. So I took a few pictures of different animals. And on the back of these I wrote, "Love your American teacher," and I didn't know when I first came that you can call teachers by their first names. So you've been calling me Miss Sauer, but my first name is Whitney. Whitney. So we're going to start using my first name, Whitney. And it says "Love from Whitney" on there. And then it also says "Keep learning" on the back of all of your pictures. Oh, this is a big tree, and it also is showing my favorite holiday, and that's fall. You guys are you call it autumn. You're in autumn right now. Oh, put her hands down. We'll save it till the end. Keep it in your head. Keep it in your head, and I'll ask it at the end, okay? so this is showing my favorite holiday, fall. You call it autumn because it's the weather drops. It's not super hot, Tommy. It's not super hot, and you don't have to wear a jacket in the beginning. It's still a little warm. It's about probably your 15 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius for you. For us back home, it's about 60. And the leaves change colors, like how your leaves do out here. And I just think it's so pretty. It's my favorite time of year. My birthday is also in fall. This one I think is exciting for you guys. You don't get very much snow here. We back home get so much snow that they have to call off school because the buses can't drive on the roads and the cars get in lots of accidents. So they call off school, or if it's too cold. Sometimes it'll be negative 20 degrees, so we can't go to school either. And this was shortly after one of our snow days, and I took a picture of it. You can see how high the snow goes up. You look, you see the basketball net, and it's almost halfway up the pole.
Yeah.
We get a lot of snow. I'll answer questions at the end, okay? So you can put your hands down. Oh, you guys do Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day? We do Valentine's Day too. And so this is a picture of my other classroom that I was in. And just shows they have like a little Valentine's tablecloth. We have Valentine's parties at school, and it's kind of a big deal. They bring desserts, and we bring in the cards. You guys give cards out on your Valentine's too? Yep, we do that too back home. And then we just do little Valentine's crafts. So it's just a picture of our classroom on Valentine's. Okay. Brianna?
Remember, it's questions at the end, so hands down.
This is a picture. We have the Daily Macomb and Detroit newspapers. We have a newspaper box. You can put a coin in it, a quarter, and then open it up. You can grab a newspaper. I'll read them at home. It tells us lots of different things. It's helpful for teachers because it gives a lot of news about what's going on with their schools. So we took a picture of that so you can know what our newspapers are called. There's a restaurant that we have, and it's not really a chain, just for some reason people like naming the restaurant Coney Islands back home. There's probably like 10 at least in the little area that I live, and they're just little like hamburgers, grilled cheese sandwiches, and they have breakfast, really good breakfast. And this was the Coney Island by my house. They have a racket outside of theirs. So that's at Coney Islands. This was my other school where I did my first student teaching at. It's Green Elementary. So I took a picture outside so you could see what my other school looked like. Wait. Oh. This is my grandma and grandpa. There's some people when I was leaving, I'm going to take your picture so people in Australia have a picture of you to see. They were laughing at me. This is my grandma and grandpa. This was before I left, my family threw a little party for me before I left for Australia. So that is my grandma and grandpa. They drove me to the airport too. That's a T-Rex. This is, it is a T-Rex, but in Detroit, that is the bigger city by where I live, Detroit, Michigan. They have this puppet theater, and it's so cool. When I went, I thought, little hand puppets. I didn't know what I was going to think about it, but this is a puppet, a huge puppet that they have walk around. They tell stories, and these are my little cousins. I always go with them. Every about 2 or 3 days before Christmas, they have a Christmas one there that we go and see every year. That's my cousin Isabella and Amelia. So they took a picture by the dragon.
Okay, there's something next.
dragon T-Rex type guy. I haven't seen that puppet yet. Diana? Georgia? Oh, that is my car. It's a little blue. I've seen a few of them here. You guys do have Honda Fits here, so that's a bad example. But next to it, there's a Chevy and a van.
Oh, the little blue
The little blue car. Yep, that's my car. And you can see, I wanted to show you too, if you look at it super close, it's all white. When you drive around in the snow, they have to put salt on the streets to melt the snow, and it turns my car white. And if you don't take it to the car wash, it could get all rusty and fall apart. It really hurts our cars. That is, that's more picture of more snow. That's you can kind of see how high it is on the building. But I also took in the background, you can see, those are what our mail trucks look like. They're little white and they have an envelope on the side of them. We're almost done. That's a picture. We do Spirit Weeks back home, and one day we had Crazy Hair Day. And so this is a picture of a girl with her crazy hair. She has a lot of clips in her hair. She has crazy hair. This is her Spirit Week. This is a picture. Oh, I'm not sure why we're singing because I'm trying to tell you. I was really excited to show back home. This is a picture on we have a holiday called Thanksgiving. Do you guys have something similar to Thanksgiving? Okay, so our Thanksgiving is to remember long time ago. They were called the Pilgrims. Pilgrims came over from England and they moved to America. And so they had their first meal with the Indians. It's a wigwam. It's a big thing back home. But Thanksgiving, and it was to be thankful for the new world and our new homes and our new friends. And we have every year on November 25th, we eat lots and lots of food, delicious food. My family makes it. We all come together, my grandparents, my aunts, and my sisters and brothers, and we all eat lots and lots of food and desserts. It's my favorite holiday. Okay, Isaac? Almost done. You guys are being so good and patient, and thank you for letting. I'll do you next. You can go next. Thank you so patient for listening. I was very excited. This is another picture. It's really hard to see this guy of an animal that we have that you don't have over here in Australia. He kind of blends in with the tree. Kind of blends in with the tree. Is that a stick insect? No, it's called a squirrel. They're little, like, they kind of look like, I guess you could say like maybe a mouse, but with big furry tails. A big furry tail. They climb trees and the power lines around us, and they're just little small, like, rodent type things. And I heard you guys didn't have squirrels, so I took a picture of a squirrel for you. This is my house. I have a blue house with a red door, and it shows you again how much snow we have back home. And because our houses kind of look different than your houses out here, so I thought maybe it would be cool for you guys to see what our houses look like. Okay, we have the boys in the back. This is my family dog, Gretchen. She's getting pretty old. She's pretty big. She's a German short hair pointer. She kind of looks like a Dalmatian almost. Gretchen. She's really big. She's getting super old. Kind of cranky. That's my family. That's my mom's dog. Oh, that happens. another one of my dog. I would take him on walks back by my house, and we have train tracks, and we would walk along the train tracks, because then he could run. So it's just another picture of him in the snow and what it looks like. Oh, I like dogs.
I love doggies and cats.
Doggies and cats. Can you get one? Which one do you have? This was the picture of our playground back home. I wasn't sure what your guys' would look like. It's kind of similar to the ones out there. We have the windy slide, and we have some stuffy things that you can walk across. You can use your hands to go across them. It's pretty colorful. Ours isn't as big as yours. You guys have a little bit more area outside that you can walk around in. That's pretty much the whole playground back home. Does everyone have one? Alright. Those are just some things from back home. I wanted to show you guys what it's like where I live. You guys can bring them home. Keep them. Yeah, you can keep them. They're yours. You can keep them. We're going to do that next. You can keep them. And then on the back I wrote, love your American teacher, Whitney. It says, keep learning. Alright guys, let's get up and go get a drink and then come back and we're going to listen to Kira's